Canadian, and we have an issue of a lack of affordable books in this country. There are some websites which kind of do it, but then the variety is really, really limited. So I struggle to buy books. Clearly don't struggle that hard, but I struggle to buy affordable books. And anytime I travel to America or the UK, I go crazy because the prices are so good and affordable in comparison to Canada. All this to say, I went to Target. The cashier asked me if I was buying a library, to which I replied yes. So today I'm doing a huge haul. I believe there are more than 30 books, and I did buy them 2 days ago, all in one shot. Paying off this card is gonna be great this month. But I'm so excited. I've read probably half of the books I bought, but I need to buy a book. I don't care if I read it on my Kindle. I need to own it as well, because what if I just want to flip through the pages? And one of these series completely changed my life, so I obviously had to buy it. But let's just get right into it, shall we? I'm not gonna go in any particular order, so come along for the wild ride with me. I mean, we're really starting off with the 4th book in a random series, but it is Redeeming 6 by Chloe Walsh. You can check my browser history. If you're a hacker, go for it. I have been trying to buy this series for so long because at my bookstore in Canada, we have the big chain. I want to say they're $24 a book, and there are 5 books in the series. I cannot be spending 125 Canadian dollars before tax on a book series at this moment. But this at Target, I think was $11 freaking dollars. And on top of that, it was 20% off, which most of these were an extra 20% off. I went feral. My cart, I will insert a clip, was full to the brim. I also did buy Kindles and vinyls, but that's besides the point. This is about the books. I couldn't believe how big this book was. Also, the font, smallest thing I've ever seen. And I read this in a day on my Kindle because I didn't realize how big it was. It's so perfectly floppy. I could so go back and read this one day. Is that not the most satisfying thing you've ever heard? It is. I also picked up The Bridge Kingdom by Daniel Jensen. Now this, I do own this. Oh my gosh, I don't know where it is, but I own this in hardcover. Oh my gosh, it's right here. I'm so silly, I just connected the dots. That's okay, I loved this book. I read this or listened to it on Audible, and I'm on the 3rd book in the series, and this fantasy enemies to lovers series is so good. I am so intrigued. I usually listen to it while I'm doing chores or honestly sometimes on hikes. It's incredible, and I saw this cover and it's beautiful and it's magical. I don't love the as seen on TikTok, and I can't remove that sticker. Why do they do this? Anyway, I also randomly picked this up on Audible and listened to it in 2 days. It completely gripped me. It's a historical romance. Follows 2 timelines, the present day, which is the granddaughter, and then the past during the war, and it's kind of 2 different romances. Hi, Ella, that you're following. It's incredible. I highly recommend. I didn't know it was viral on TikTok. I don't think I've ever saw it on there. Obviously, Rebecca Yarros, who's the author. Hi, my love, you're making a bit of noise. Rebecca Yarros, the author, is the author of Fourth Wing and Iron Flame. Love that series as well, so maybe that's why it went a bit viral. But this book I highly recommend. And I don't read historical romance too often, but that one made me want to. Then we have Binding 13, which is the 1st book in the Boys of Tommen. This book has my heart. It was an emotional ride, but I loved it. Then we have Keeping 13, which is the 2nd book in the series. I love how these. Then we have Saving Six. I just, so good and floppy. Oh my gosh, this would be such a joy to read. Then we have The Summer of Broken Rules by K.L. Walter, and I read this on my Kindle very, very recently. I finished it this week actually, and I enjoyed it. I gave it 3 stars in the end, but I have a really hard time giving numerical value to art, and I think it kind of diminishes it. And anyway, I do give star ratings. I didn't for a while, but then it made it confusing and I kind of forgot how much I enjoyed certain things. But take all star ratings with a grain of salt, and if someone doesn't like something and give it a 3, you can give it a 5 and it's totally fine, which you probably know. Anyway, I did enjoy this. I thought it was cute, so I wanted to own it because also it's beautiful. Ow. You cannot tell how massive this stack is, but this isn't all of them. This is just the rest that I haven't talked about. Continuing on strong with Pucking Sweet by Emily Rath. I have no idea what this is about, but I see hockey skates. My mind goes to smutty hockey romance. I'm sold. I can't wait for this to take over my life. We have Sweet and Saddled by Lila Sage, and I've just been seeing this everywhere. Hello, the cover is so aesthetically pleasing. You cannot lie. And if you don't find it aesthetically pleasing, it's really short. It's very, very thin. So I'm gonna bang this out one night. We have Off to the Races by Elsie Silver. This is her first series, if I'm not mistaken. It's the Gold Rush Ranch series. I've read the newest one. There's 2 that are out, Wild Love and Wild Something. Flawless? That one. Oh my gosh, what was it called? I read all 5 of them and I adored them. And I can't remember what that series is called. You know, the Elsie Silver series. I've loved everything I've read by her, so I want to read her first series as well. And I've been wanting the physical copies because they're on Kindle, but like I said, holding the physical book, it's just so satisfying. I'm such a liar. I didn't get this one at Target, but I wanted to include it because it was in my stack and I did buy it this week. I got this in Canada though. It's Sally Rooney's Intermezzo, and I'm really excited to read this. Normal People hold such a special place in my heart, truly. So I want to give it a shot. Taming 7, Boys of Tama number 5. I haven't read this. It's so short in comparison to the rest of them. And I'm pretty sure I know what couple this is gonna be about. The funner, that's not a word, couple. I'm excited. I need a bit of a break though. What I did was I read Binding 13 and Keeping 13, then took about 2 weeks in between and I read other things, and then I went back to Saving 6 and Redeeming 6. I think that's the order, maybe the other way around. So I'm just taking a little palette cleanser before I get to this, but I'm really excited. Then we have Look Familiar, Done and Dusted, also by Lila Sage, which is, I assume, in the same series as Swift and Saddled. I actually got this one at Walmart because I did go to Walmart and Target, and I didn't realize Walmart is also pretty freaking great and sometimes cheaper. I am so excited. I am currently reading The Graham Effect by Elle Kennedy, and my goodness, oh, I'm getting so excited I'm not even making real words anymore. The Graham Effect is such a good book, and you know what, I have a friend who loves to read as well, and she did recommend that to me forever ago, but when I saw how big that book was in the bookstore, I put it off. And then one day I was bored and it's free on Kindle Unlimited, and I started reading it and I love it. But I've read so much by Elle Kennedy and I love every single book, basically. So I knew I would like it. I was just being stubborn, but it's okay. Life happens. But I did get this. I'm sad that I couldn't find The Graham Effect, like the physical copy, but at least I have The Dixon Rule, which, context, is the second one in this new series she's writing. So I'm really excited. And my friend also said that this one is incredible. Then we have Love Unwritten by Lauren Asher, and I actually don't know. Yay, okay, this is not the one I read. This is so big. Can you see how big this book is? Oh my gosh. So this is in the Lakefront Billionaire series, and it's her latest series. I have a complicated relationship with Lauren Asher. I don't love every book. Some hit. I think it depends on when I read them, to be quite honest, and what state of mind I'm in and what I'm in the mood for, which is frankly a lot of the times how I'll feel about books. Really depends on that. But I read the first book in this one. I think it was called Love Redesigned, and it didn't hit for me. It was okay, but I do still want to give her a shot. But I am sad I didn't find the first one because like I said, over and over again, repeat with me, I like to own the physical copy. Then we have Butcher and Blackbird by Bryn Weaver. I'm sorry if I said that wrong. I have no idea what this is about. I think it's kind of a mystery. The Ruinous Love Trilogy. Is it? I don't know. There's a saw on there, so potentially. I've seen this talked about by some of my favorite booktubers and book talkers, so I decided, you know what, it's on sale, I'm gonna pick it up. But I genuinely have no idea what it's about. If I've ever heard anyone talk about it, it has left the vicinity. Then we have Ali Hazelwood, Not in Love. I read Bride earlier this year. That was such a good book, and I've read other Ali Hazelwood books and I do enjoy them. I actually, though, Bride was by far my favorite by her. I really like how she wrote that little YA romantasy, if you could call it that. I guess more paranormal romance. Nonetheless, I think she's a great author. Some of the science world ones are good. Maybe I'd like them more now because I actually work closer to that field now, so maybe I would enjoy it more. I don't know, but I do still like her, so I wanted to pick this up. Please say I don't own this. No, okay. Then we have Christina Lauren, The Paradise Problem. Christina Lauren holds a very special place in my heart because they are the authors of the first series that really got me into reading during COVID, and it was the Beautiful series. Now that changed my life. It truly changed the trajectory of my enjoying reading and opened so many paths of reading to me, if that makes sense. I didn't articulate that quite well, but you get the gist. I will still read what they put out every now and then. It's gotten to a lot more mature and their protagonists are a lot older. I realize like I'm kind of growing up with them, which is nice. They're just growing at an exponentially faster rate than I am because I'm only 22, and a lot of their protagonists are early 30s now, I'm getting the sense. And it's just different themes than what I started off reading by them and then what I normally read. That being said, it is still really sweet and I think they write really well. And so yeah, I'll still read whatever they put out. It just won't necessarily be my top priority to get to it right away because I think this has been out for a few months and I only just now picked it up. Then we have Daydream by Hannah Grace, and I did read Icebreaker and Wildfire, which are the first two books in this series, which is a Maple Hills series. I didn't love Wildfire, but that's also because I never went to sleepaway camp, so I really think that was why. I'm such a sucker for picturing myself in the book I'm reading, and if that makes me egotistical, so be it. Then we have Leather and Lark. So this is in the same series as Butcher and Blackbird. There is a third book in the series. Do I know which one that is? No. Maybe I only own books 2 and 3. We'll get to it when we get to it, when I decide to pick it up and actually read it, because it does say Love Trilogy, but I just genuinely don't know in what order they go. Then I picked up Powerful. Oh my goodness. I read Powerless and Reckless, one after the other. Lauren Roberts? So talented. I remember her first TikTok years ago when she explained the concept of powerless, and I was hooked. I loved The Red Queen. I only really liked the first one in that series. And then it was a mix of that and kind of the Hunger Games and like Enemies to Lovers. And I thought she explained her series so well, Lauren Roberts, and I was really excited. And then there was so much backlash online and so many different opinions. I told myself I don't want to be impacted by any of that. I want to go into the book and completely enjoy and disassociate from what other people are saying. So I waited a long time to read it until Reckless was already out, actually, the second book. And I'm so glad I did because I binged those two so quickly. I loved. What's wrong? Then we have A Photo Finish. This is again in that first series by Elsie Silver. No idea which one this is, first, second, third, fourth, but we'll get there when we get there. I also got Pucking Around, and this is in the same series as Pucking Sweet, which I talked about a while ago, by Emily Rath. And once again, all I know is that hockey, huge, probably spicy romance. What else do you need in life to be happy? And to finish this massive book haul off, we have Nothing Like the Movies by Lynn Painter. Lynn Painter is one author I will always turn to if I just want to smile. Her books are so sweet and touch such a cute little warm fuzzy part in my heart. I feel so much better after having read them. I read Better Than the Movies in one sitting. Could not put it down. You could not have put anything else in front of me more tempting than that book while I was reading it. I'm really excited because I'm pretty sure this is actually a continuation of that book, whereas her other 3 over here, all amazing, are different stories, different settings. But this one I think is the sequel. So I'm excited to go back to Wes? Wes! Wow, I never remember people's names. So that's impressive. That tells you how good it is. You can't see these huge stacks in front of me, but my goodness, I just talked about so many books. And now all I want to do is read. That's the beauty of talking about books and like filming a video like this. Now I'm just inspired and I want to read. And I already finished a book this morning, so it's exciting. I get to start a new one. Opportunities are endless. And I am going to Halloween party later tonight, and my costume is freaking hilarious. FYI. I hope you have a lovely day. I hope you read today and do something that makes you happy. And yeah, bye.